Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I'm late again, as usual. Just how I am. Alright guys, so yeah, I'm late. So when I sat here, this microphone just came down on my face. Like it slapped me. And so like here, right here. So I took it as the slap from you guys for being late every time. But I hope that you guys are doing well. Man, I tried my best to make it live on Facebook, but I think I didn't make it in time. Facebook doesn't let you live stream after, like if you pass 10 minutes after you have set the stream. So, bleh. Oh well. Hello. Check out the OGON Society. You can find it on YouTube. You will feel emotionally uplifted. What is that? Odon. I will read it as Odon. I'm curious. That's Obon. No, that's not it. Oh, on YouTube? I'll check it. Man, it's so hot. Like, I can't. Like, I'm a sweat machine now. I can't find that though. ODON. Oh, Obon. Oh, okay. Oh, I know that project. Hi, Yoko. Hello. Mom. You should have seen the clouds outside the other day. The clouds were spinning around. There were at least 12 tornadoes, not far away. Tornadoes are rare for where I live. Wow. That's so scary though. Like, why were you so excited instead of being scared? I'll be scared. A mandatory carry. Thank you for your super chat. Always keep fighting. Yes. Thank you. Max resist. Ohio. Oh, super chat. Johnny Yu or Yo. Sister Yoko down in the river to be baptized. Repent and be saved in the name of our Lord and Savior, Christ Jesus. Yay! Cool. To be like you getting baptized? Becoming Christian? What's going on? But thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, but that's Won. So I believe John is Korean or living in Korea. I don't know. Wait, let me catch up with you. Oh, thank you for your kind words. Okay. Hello, Yoko. Yes, hello. Konnichiwa, hello. What's for lunch? I have no idea. My husband is slurping some noodles or something. I can hear the sound, but I don't know. Yeah, I could make like somen-ish noodles, the white kinds. Like, yeah, I can't explain. You put that in this special soup. It's cold though, like, and then you eat it. I don't know how to explain. Yoko, yay! I'm not trying to cover. I am just telling the truth, which is priceless. Oh, what's going on? Hello, Yoko. One question. What do you think of the activists at the Olympics? And do the Japanese... What do the Japanese think of this? Oh, what what activists? Oh yeah, speaking of which, though, the Olympics, I wanted to talk about the Chinese people on social media. They are attacked. I don't know about like right now, but it became the news that Chinese people attacked, like they attacked multiple Japanese athletes when they won gold. And it might not be necessarily like when they won gold, but they are attacking Japanese athletes. And I'm pretty sure for political reasons, because what they say is, the Japanese athletes, there was a fraud, or they just Chinese people just attack verbally, like, oh, I'm gonna nuke you or something like that. Like there are even pictures of the atomic bombs, and they write something like they make it into a internet meme. So it's pretty mean, but I don't know how much of that is genuinely coming from the Chinese people. I read from, I think it was the Epoch Times, and there might be some involvement of the Chinese government, meaning CCP too. So we can't underestimate that. Like it is so stupid, right? Like the athletes from other countries win, and you are supposed to congratulate, regardless. Like it sucked yesterday so much when we lost in judo, judo. Our what do you call that? It's not the individual match, but a group match, whatever it's called. So Japanese versus France, and we had our team, and France had a team, and we lost to France in judo, even though, like individually, almost all the members of our team won. Won gold actually. And so we were gonna like, oh, Japan's gonna win, but no, France won, and we were so like, oh, like torn apart. Like we felt really heartbroken and so on. But then we were happy for France, right? But not China. China doesn't do that. When we win, they go aggressively against us, and they start what you call like not criticizing. It's just they just go really nasty, and it's good though that they are exposing their level in communications and so on. However, it breaks my heart when I think about the feelings of the Japanese athletes. I read someone's comment though, by a Japanese athlete, that he is so used to this type of crap that he doesn't even care, so that's good to read. But some like, there are female athletes like very young, and they all, like the person just cried in front of the reporter and so on, talking about it. And so, but China is that desperate, and I think that from that perspective as well, we must boycott the Beijing Olympics in 2022, which is next year, starting in February 4th. We have to do, even if we can't cancel the Olympics itself, like it can be held in somewhere else, or we could at least boycott the attendance of like diplomats or officials, like prime minister or presidents, or just diplomats. Like if we can boycott that will be better, way better than nothing. And I believe that even Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, is saying that. So it's just common sense level. So I hope that that's the direction that we're going. Like China they can't be one of us, Okay. A lady is by nature late. Yeah. In my opinion, the guys that can have girlfriends, or those guys that can have a healthy relationship with women, they must be very tolerant for women, when they are late for your appointments and so on. It takes so much effort to, create this appearance. Even though I'm not, like me personally, I'm not doing a good job. But, I'm a tomboy inside. So, okay, where was I? Can I read the super chat first? Oh, Eric, thank you always for your support. I got a heart. Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, here. Civil war might be coming soon. Where? In America? Man, in my prefecture, this National Diet member came the other day, and like there was a small gathering, and I attended, and he was talking about 2024, and that's your election, like presidential election in America, and the presidential election of Taiwan. So the point that the National Diet member was making is that the year will be like, both America and Taiwan will be focused on the domestic politics instead of the international society or powers. So he was concerned that China might, do whatever they want in during the year or somewhere around there. But as for Taiwan's election, though, it's gonna be in, I believe, it will be in January, I think. So it will end, and so that means what that means is that 2023 will be the year, like, when Taiwan will be focused on domestic politics. So yeah, we need to be careful of that. But yeah, what's going on in America lately? Is BLM still there? Are they still? I don't hear about it anymore. Isn't it interesting though that the fact that we don't hear about it anymore, about BLM, shows that it was the intentional political activity to attack Donald Trump, for to stop him from getting elected. It's like people are so passive that they don't care about the timing of things, don't you think? Like things happen because there are people with intentions behind the scenes, especially in politics, right? Even in business, but especially in politics. There are always intentions, and people have to be smart enough to read that. But I understand. I am Christian as well, but just quotes alone don't work. You're talking about Christianity. Yeah, what did you see the people in Hong Kong celebrating Japan's win in fencing against China? Oh, I missed that. They were? That's amazing. Oh, I heard about Hong Kong though. When somebody from Hong Kong won gold in, I don't know which sport, but when a Hong Kong girl won gold, the national anthem that was played was the Chinese national anthem, like, the one of China, like the mainland. And so like Hong Kong girls were angry about it and so on. But then Hong Kong doesn't have national anthem. They do have this one song that symbolizes the movement, but or revolution, I would say. But yeah, man, Isn't it interesting though about Hong Kong? Like Hong Kong is Hong Kong when it comes to the Olympics, but as for Taiwan, it's Chinese Taipei. What is the difference? Taiwan should be Taiwan, in my opinion. But as for Taiwan, though, there are so many complex backgrounds to, you know, the definition of Taiwan. So it's difficult. But did you hear about the Great Flood in China? Tens of thousands of people are drowned to death in subway train. Oh, I did hear about flood, but it was recently, but it was kind of a while ago, I think. Yeah, and when I first heard about the flood, I saw the news. Like I always check out, Chinese like flood especially, and what I saw was that like 0 person died on the day that it happened, and I'm like, this is a lie, like 0 person, and also like injured people. The number is like dozens and like 20 or something, or maybe less, like the very first news that I saw. So I'm like, this stinks. And after that, though, I haven't been how do you say, like I haven't been following the news as anymore. But man, I didn't realize that the number of victims is rising. I should check that out. Yeah. It's very important, considering politics and like CCP power as well, because China's politics or China's power changes when the citizens rise, like historically too. So it's up to the citizens, like how much they can fight from within. And when they fight from within, that's when we outsiders have to go in. So yeah, I should pay attention to what's going on in China. Funny how Umao, oh yeah, those people that are paid by CCP are on social media sites, even though they are banned in China. I know, right? Isn't that weird? How do they break all the barriers that they are supposed to have? Maybe some might be overseas or something. The Chinese flood was crazy though. Ooh. Have you played Halo? Do you like it as much as Call of Duty? Halo is the one that Halo. Wait, what? Wait. I need to be sure of the. No, I've never. I don't know Halo to begin with. Like I've heard of it, but I can't even see what it's like. I'm interested though. Yeah, I haven't been playing Call of Duty lately because it got kind of weird with the team that I was in. Like I was the what you call like a clan? Is it a clan master? But like there was some romance going on inside of my team, and I'm like, give me a break, So I just left, and I haven't gotten back. China cries again. I'm shocked. Yeah, I heard that Chinese were upset with a map of China that was shown in the Olympics because it didn't include all of the South China Sea and Taiwan. Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah. But it's really like for Chinese people and also those who are oppressed by China, like Tibet, Uyghurs, and Mongolia. And well, Hong Kong is always written or drawn, but and also Taiwan. Like how the map means so much to them. I mean, of course it must be, but yeah. like whose territory is this, so icky. Why is China always so sensitive about everything? They get their feelings hurt so easily. That's a good point. That's a good point. uh that's a good point. Like I should use that. I should put it that way, because especially for Japanese people, what's annoying the most is when China talks about Yasukuni Shrine. Yasukuni Shrine is not a grave, but it's what it means to us. It's of course a shrine in Tokyo, but what it means to us is what how you feel about the Arlington Cemetery. Those who fought for your country are there, and as for us, it's a shrine, so there are no it's not like there are bodies. It's only the spirits that or souls that come to the shrine, and but that's where we can meet all our heroes. But so it's August now, actually. Here it's August 1st now because of the time difference for you, some of you. But yeah, so August 15th is when it's not exactly the day that it ended, but that's when our emperor at the time went on the radio. It was a recorded version, but his voice aired nationally, and it was the sign of or declaration of the end of the war. That's when we recognize ourselves as we lost the war. So that's when our that's when we have ceremonies, for about the World War II, especially those who were sacrificed for the war. And so our emperor and his what you call in English, I don't know, but so our emperor come to the ceremony, our prime minister come to the ceremony, and so forth, and we have this memorial thing. And also it's the day that we conservatives or right wings expect our leader to visit Yasukuni Shrine. Like we want our leader to visit the shrine and greet and thank our heroes. But as for Yasukuni Shrine, every time when that day comes, it's always China and actually South Korea too, but they complain to our country or for like visiting, like there are National Diet members that visit the shrine as well, and our prime minister himself doesn't go to the shrine, but he does. Like he gives this like a plan to the shrine. So like that's enough like political message. So then China complains to that. Like that's something that we are doing domestically, like our leaders just going to our shrine. And then somehow China complained to us. So then I'm gonna say that. Why is China sensitive about that? If your country is that big, as if the country is as big as you say, Yeah. Sorry, I rambled a lot. China should not have been allowed or invited to compete in Tokyo. They already competed and lost in Wuhan 2019 games. Globalist rubbish. Yeah. Seriously, they seriously don't deserve to be part of the Olympics, like why? Like people, the world, especially the West, talks a lot about Nazi Germany and Hitler and what he did, and like it's awful, and but it's in the past, right? Like we have to expand our knowledge and wisdom about what really happened and so on. And it's important to talk about those things, but there are things that are happening today, and especially it's the CCP that brings stuff from the past to talk about today. to blind everyone else. They are doing something awful as Hitler, or maybe I can't compare. Of course, it's like you can't compare that sort of like massacre and so on. But is what CCP is doing? What CCP is doing is, to me as an Asian, it's the worst in history. That's how I feel. But and the world is so allergic to Hitler, but they are not to Xi Jinping. And I just don't see the difference. They're both dictators, and they're doing the massacre, and they're putting people in the concentration camps and so on. And they get to join in the Olympics. And not only that, they are the next host of the Olympics. Like, it's like what will our offsprings think about us today? Like, they will lose all their pride and so on in the later generations for our what we are allowing today. We must fight. We really must fight. Okay, let's go faster. I hope Japan ends up with the most gold medals by the end of the games. Most American athletes are social justice warriors. The US is doing so bad because our athletes are more focused on politics over being athletes. I hear you. Yeah. In softball, is it called softball in English as well? Japan and USA fought and we won. So, but yeah, that's the only one that I saw, like Japan versus America. But I don't hear about America much in the Olympics, or I don't know. It's the Olympics, so our media is focused on Japan so much. We don't get to hear about other countries as much, right? But sometimes I check on Google to see how many medals each country won, and it's the same as like the GDP order. So it's like, I know it's actually not the same, because I think China is winning the most medals, like as for the number, or was it America? Like it's either China or America, and then Japan comes to the third place. But Japan wins gold a lot though, especially in judo. But what I hear that this is something that my husband told me. I don't know if it's true or how. I don't know if it's the same in each sports. But as for judo and swimming, I heard that in Japan there are so many like good athletes, but they only pick one athlete for each class. And so, and I bet that for other countries, if your athletes are good, they will let them enter, but not for some of the sports here in Japan. That they somehow pick only one. But by that though, they boost the levels of our sports or martial art, because they will not be spoiled. They have to be this good, and there will be only one spot or position that they can get, so everybody compete, to get the opportunity. So yeah, but I don't know, like it's not the same, in each country. So that's interesting. Oh, BBDC, thank you for your super chat. It's Yoko time. No question, just saying hello. Oh, how nice. How nice of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone, BBDC has a show on Instagram. I don't log into Instagram as much, so I don't even remember the update. But yeah. check out his Instagram. It's the same name, I believe, BBDC. So, okay. La, 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 la. Let's go here. Oh yeah, this is a Q&A session if you didn't know. So ask me anything. Um, didn't some of the Chinese swimmers cheat? I don't know. Did they? It's so funny though that Russia Russia did the so-called doping, right? So like they got all the drugs and so on, and so they can't participate as Russia. That is so like karma, but they can still join. So man, what a country. Jesus Christ, China is 5 gold medals ahead of America. Oh no, can't believe Chinese swimmers are way better than Japanese. Huh. Well, for China, I um if if my knowledge is correct, they have this like sort of a like a university-ish place. Like they have this special facility to nurture all these athletes to participate in the Olympics to make them win. It's Olympics for them is a nationalism thing. They must win, so they do whatever it takes to raise all these athletes and make them win. So man, so considering that America is great, don't you think? Like America is a free country and everybody is just enjoying their own life, and some people, go really hard into the sports and then they win. But for Chinese people, I don't know how it works though. Like I don't know if everybody comes from the system, but yeah, it's the country or the nation that raises them. So it's like we're seeing the same thing, but we're not at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's how each country does or prepares for the Olympics is different. So that's something that we all should share, I think, because there are so many differences. Yeah, man. I I think even the number of athletes, I think China has many athletes participating. It's usually like China and America have like when you see the march, there are so many people. In other countries, like so. Um, American athletes spend too much time protesting American and they forget to practice. Oh no. It's so sad that you're supposed to, represent your country, and if you hate the country that you're representing, what are you doing, There was this Japanese comedian that he became a Cambodian or something to participate in the Olympics. Like he ran for the marathon. In order to do that, he changed his mother country. So that's what people do sometimes, That's I don't blame him, So if those athletes really hate America the way it is, then they should just, become someone else. Like it's not the country. Like you don't fit in the country. So if that it doesn't fit you, if it's not your identity, then go somewhere else. That's what I think. But if I say that though, then I get called as a racist or something. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay. There won't be a civil war in America. The right are too cowardly, and Americans are too comfortable to ever fight in an internal war. Yeah. Huh. Hmm. There are always like militant type of people though in America. Like from my understanding, Americans like to fight. Like I don't know. It's like revolution. Like Americans. It's so funny. Like when I picture America, it's always like USA. And then they rise for your country, and it's in your blood. That's how I see. I don't know about Americans today. Like it's the same here as well. People overseas always talk about the samurais, and the Japanese spirits, or what you call like bushido and so on. But all those cool warrior type of Japanese people died in the World War II, unfortunately. And those were elites too. Like those who died during the World War II, they were elites, especially the ones that as kamikaze. They were so smart and top of the level. So part of me, like of course, that is because of their sacrifice. We are here today. Like we did surrender, but America was too frightened by that. Like they couldn't estimate, or what's the word, like they couldn't guess what Japan was capable of if we could do that. So of course those ancestors of ours are protecting us today, but at the same time, part of me wonders what Japan would have been like if those smart elite type of patriots were alive afterwards. Man. So it's the same in. I think that if especially developed countries after the World War II, we did develop a lot, and so we have all this things. Like our countries are rich now, even though the economy is bad. Our living is so good, right? So what that means is that we became dumb. And we forgot how to fight. And I think it's I I really love America, and that is because we're on the same page. I of course understand both languages, and so I don't have barriers when I look at Japan and America. And it's like, even though we are different countries, what we are experiencing are the same. So it's very interesting, and I wish I could show you what I'm seeing, like how I'm seeing. Of course, if you understand Japanese, then I know that you're feeling the same. But yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's go there. BLM and Antifa are still here, just quitter right now. Wanna know whose intentions follow the money. Tehran? What? Interesting. Yeah, like who's backing up all this stuff? I wish my husband and I had all these resources, like especially money. Yeah, I'm like, where's CIA? Like they need to come to us. It's a joke, but it's like I'm serious. Where are they? Like I will talk to you. BLM is still very active, and so is in the Olympics. That's what I meant. Oh, I see. Yeah. But it's interesting, though, that I don't see that sort of news here. Like American athletes doing political performances. I don't see that in the news because we are busy catching all this, what's going on in the Olympics, who is winning and blah, blah, blah. So isn't that sad, though? They're trying so hard to appeal to the world. and they're not doing a good job. I'm like, if you, what I would say to those athletes in America, if they are doing all these political performances, I would tell them to do that aside from the Olympics or in sports. Like they don't have to do that in the field, you know? Like it's just they're seeking attention. Like that's what it is, and they want to be like your expression is social justice warriors, and they're just that. And it's not, that's not gonna, of course there will be some kind of impact to the society, but just because you do a little performance at the beginning of your game, it's not gonna change anything, right? I don't think so, unless those people in the field, like those who have the money, unless they giving. But like the attitude of us, like normal, like ordinary people, we will not change the way that we see things just by a little performance. So, and rather I think that Japanese people probably will think like we have this culture to, you know, how do I put it, if you are Japanese, we are pressured to obey the atmosphere. So we must not break the atmosphere that's there. Like we are culturally and traditionally, we respect the atmosphere or the harmony of the space that you are in. So that's why we don't go that's why we don't like individualism. We enjoy the harmony of the space. So if one person does something to stand out, the person is gonna get crushed. You know, in Japan at least. So I wish that America could install that side of our culture, because it's if you do that too much, then that becomes frustration. But if you have the balance, it's a good way to stop those people from doing whatever they're doing. Mm. Okay, let's go down. Was it South Korea or Japan that beat China in ping pong? I think it's Japan, like a table tennis. Yeah, and Japan won, and that triggered China. Voters in Japan required to show photo ID. Some politicians in U.S. consider this voting requirement racist. In Japan, our information is very well organized. So when we go voting, we each citizen get this like a letter, and on it so it becomes the card that you take with you to the voting place, and then they check the card, and like they put the card into the machine or something, and then we get the voting card. So yeah, it's not facial recognition though. Like it's, we don't have photo ID, but our system is so trustworthy, you know, you can't fake anything. Unless like the only thing you could do is to steal the card, I think. Like I mean the letter, but then you'd have to say all your personal information a little bit, like your birthday and so on. And also you have to write down your address, I think, at the voting place. Yeah. So it's quite difficult. Interesting. Yeah. Like our voting system is very what you call like analog, you know, very old fashioned. But that's how we don't have frauds. Did you see the Chinese badminton player shouting the F word in Chinese over and over during a match? Oh no, no, I didn't see that. Uh, yeah, in Japan, especially in martial arts, we are told not to show our emotions during the match. So we bow and start, right, like in martial arts, and then end with a bow, and then we express our uh, emotions, but not during that, because the match is supposed to be where we are fighting against our opponent, but what we are fighting against is ourselves. Like, opponents are only revealing our weakness during a match. So it's it's like it's not like martial art way of thinking is far more different from sports. But I used to do kendo. I don't know if you know, but it's like Star Wars, right? Like, it's like a sword. You have this bamboo stick swords, and you fight. And so I used to do that, and so that's the thinking that I got. But so considering that, I was a little sad to see all these judo athletes from here that exclaimed by joy when they won gold, like, yeah, you know. But only one guy didn't do that though, so I was proud of him. But you're not supposed to do like, yeah. And when France won yesterday, yeah, by the way, they're like, yeah, they did this. I'm like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be judo. But so yeah, but nowadays even Japanese people are losing that. So, but F word, that's not cool. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Do you think Hong Kong will be placed behind the Great Firewall of China soon? Yes, I think so. Aren't they already? Not yet. They will be. I know that they are now. Hong Kong is now inside of China, in the Chinese border. So they will be treated the same as Tibet, Uyghur, and Southern Mongolia. So it's a matter of time. And I really hate to say this though, because I have many friends there, really good friends. I miss Andy Chan. But yeah, so, but during the protests that started from 2019 June, the last time I interviewed Andy Chan, he was a leader, the party leader of Hong Kong and National Party. And I think there's a video of me interviewing him in 2009. It was August or so. There's a video of me interviewing him in South Korea. And he was already talking about the concentration camps in Hong Kong, that all this, China, it's not China, but Hong Kong police was arresting all these protesters, like young kids and so on. But the number of the arrested people became very large, so they couldn't have them. They couldn't keep them anymore, so they needed more facilities, and so he was talking about that, and I seriously don't know what happened to all these arrested people. Of course, they still have somewhat like, all this judicial system, I believe, but I have no idea, And yeah, I don't know, man. As for Hong Kong, though, I don't know how China wants to colonize, because what I've heard about my country, for example, from an expert, is that China will not colonize here like what they do in, I don't know, like let's imagine like Africa, like thousands of years ago or something. Like it's not like we will be slaves, but we will have our economy going, and China will just simply exploit from us, and we'll be poor. and that sort of things. And I feel like as for Hong Kong is financially they are the one of the key points in the international in this world. So I don't think that China wants to lose it. So I need to study about stuff like that. Like I have no knowledge when it comes to that sort of things. But so, you know, of course, Hong Kong has been colonized by China for the past over 2 decades, and they have been exploited from CCP, and it's like the my friend was expressing it as the back door to Chinese economy. So they might want to, you know, take the advantage of that, you know, and just they might just control the people, brainwash those people, and so on. So yeah, it's I don't know how, like, if there will be any change. I have to go in 10 minutes, by the way. Hello, Yoko. Hello. Suga's ratings are falling again, and in the top contenders are Taro Kono and Shigeru Ishiba, but both are pro-immigration, and Ishiba seems to be pro-China, who is a good conservative to lead. Good question. Unfortunately, there are no conservatives that can become the next prime minister. Yeah, like our allies, especially in the governing or ruling parties right now, inside of LDP, we do have like conservative National Diet members, but they are not powerful enough to become the prime minister. So like Japan has this weird, especially LDP, we have this weird system that is not really a rule, but we have this custom in politics. And so, and also inside of the LDP, our one of our ruling party, we have many factions. And so the prime minister gets chosen from this faction, and then the next time it will be not this faction, and it will be chosen from some others. And like they consider all these different things in politics, and they balance it out. So and our conservative National Diet members, they're either new or politically not powerful. So no, there won't be any good conservative ones. But as for but by the way, Shigeru Ishiba, he is very pro-China, and he is known as a nerd in when it comes to military and so on, like military nerd. That's what the mainstream media labels him as. But he is very pro-China, and he's not conservative at all. He's rather left, in my opinion, so he doesn't count. And as for Taro Kono, I think he's very good, but like as for especially for national security and so on, and immigration and so on, that's the limit of LDP. The whole party is pushing immigration, and that is because of the economy. And Abe administration wanted to fix our economy, and that's how the administration was born to begin with. But while Abe wanted to push this, you know, so-called Abenomics, he wanted to really make our economy better. But at the same time, he had power struggles with our Ministry of Finance. And so he had to raise our consumption tax twice, which made the economy worse. And in order to fix that, what the party is thinking is to, let's get labor from other countries, you know. So we're in this vicious circle. But Taro Kono, though, is very, I don't know, he's caring a lot about the voices on Twitter. He's very popular on Twitter. He knows how to market, and whoever is doing the job for him is great. He's really popular, and so what that means is that conservative people are strong on Twitter. So I think that we can actually push him if we try to. And immigration and so on, we can't win in every area. So yeah, immigration is such a problem that conservatives are always fighting against, and we win though every time. But it comes back when the economy gets worse. But that's something that we can still fight against. But national security issues, there's no turning back. So I think the conservative people will want somebody that can protect us in like national security wise. Yeah, who's a good conservative to lead? There are good conservative people, politicians to lead our country, but they're not House of Representatives. They're what it's called, House of Councilors in English. So yeah, man, our politics is so broken. Okay, man, I'm so slow. Sorry. Hey, Yoko, nice dress today. Thank you. Why did they put that failure Naomi Osaka instead of an actual Japanese person like a child from Fukushima to light the Olympic torch? I know, right? They represented political correctness instead of Japan. And it was, the theme of the Olympics this time was supposed to be reconstruction. For Japan, reconstruction means a lot because when we usually talk about reconstruction, it's after the World War II. We lost the war, but then we built up our country again, and so that's the reconstruction. And another is the huge earthquake in 2011, by Fukushima disaster. So that's and so we are reconstructing now. So yes, that would have made sense to have children from Fukushima area and so on. They did have some children though from those areas, but it was before Naomi Osaka. So can't believe, man. Naomi Osaka is supposed to be popular by the West. And I do see all these Western reactions, they do love Naomi Osaka. But I'm like, so what? She doesn't even speak Japanese. And if I say this, then some people say that I'm a racist. That, like, some people would say. But for example, in judo, there's this guy named Ulf. He's Ulf. I can't pronounce it well, but Ulf, right? Ulf. Aaron, Ulf Aaron, and he's mixed. I believe his parents are from both Japan and America. So like it's our baby, right? So, but he was raised here, so I heard that he's fluent in Japanese, but not really in English. And when he speaks, his face looks like a mixed person, right? Like not too Japanese, but like a Western kind of face. But when he speaks, he's totally Japanese, and what he says and how he thinks, it's so Japanese, and we can tell that he's Japanese, But and so like if he was the guy that was that went to the torch, then we would understand. But Naomi Osaka, she just doesn't represent Japanese. Like we don't recognize her as one of us, and so there's no like racist type of things. It's just a fact, that she is rather talking about America than Japan, and I'm like, why don't you just go to America, you know? Oh, hello, hello. Man. Okay. Oh, I need to go, man. Oof. Yes. I can't. Ooh, ooh, ooh. W is so hard. Ooh, ooh. English pronunciation is still difficult. Like when I say like English language, English and ear and so on. And also 2021 year. Like I still can't uh pronounce it well. And also like S and T and so on, that sort of not vowels, but why it's called the opposite of vowels. I can't. I try my best to speak American, but man, still difficult after what, like 2 decades now? Oh my gosh, I've been studying English for 2 decades. Ah, crazy, crazy. Why Naomi Osaka was the official flag bearer of Japan? She supported BLM in the past. There are so many good athletes in Japan, but they decided a BLM activist to represent their nation. I know. Please share your thought, like your words with all this, with the world. You know, like there are like Japanese people are angry. We are angry for the pick of her, but we're not powerful enough. However, all these leftists listen when we are pressured from outside of our country. So like they want to be fashionable and trendy, and they want to, you know, keep up with the international society. So they try to install or import whatever out there, what that's out there, you know. And they just hate Japan, so they listen to people overseas. So if you guys say all this stuff like this, then they will have no choice but to listen. Japan's soccer team is doing really good. Oh, that's good to hear. Usually our soccer team is, I don't know, like like it's frustrating when we watch the matches. But PS declared another SOE, state of emergency. Ooh. Last Friday, despite the CCP virus, vaccinations are causing more cases. Huh. Yeah, the media and politicians high into the public frustrating. They won't tell the truth. I don't know about vaccinations causing cases. Like my parents got the shots, so did my husband's parents and so on. Like people around us are getting shots and they're fine. But I don't know about vaccinations, but man, we need to do something about our economy, seriously. But at the same time, though, what I think is that we need to accept this shift in the world, that China now did this and they got a hang of this, you know. Oh, they can now, like, I don't know if it was intentional or just leaked from China. I think it was just, you know, they were experimenting like other any other country, and it just got leaked, right? And how they handled the situation was bad. That's how I think. But now they got a hang of it, and so like they now learn that they can get away with this. So now we might face some kind of like bioweapon type of threats, you know. So what I think is that we are going to a different era now. Like we are diving into a new era. So what we have to do is we can't stick to our premise anymore, that when it's like we have to change the way that we make money and how our business are established and so on. We have to change it accordingly to the circumstances. So I really want the government to push like new business and so on. They are giving some money to new business owners and so on, though. Like we can't live the same as before anymore, and that's something that we have to face, I think. So yeah, and at the same time, we need to do what we can easily do, like get rid of our consumption tax and so on. There are some conservatives that are pushing this, to eliminate our consumption tax, or tax in general. Like, we are getting the idea from American conservatives, like small government. So that's what we are going for. So yeah, that sort of shift is something that we have to have now, or else our country will not function anymore. So, yeah. The US and Japan and Germany should have been allies in World War II. The war today would be about 30, 40 years more advanced in that than it is now. Yeah, I agree. I don't know about Germany, but the Japan and the US are supposed to have been on the same side, but Soviet Union was wise enough, you know. Yeah, like what we can learn from the World War II is that all these sea powers have to unite, like it's not the fault entirely. It's not the fault of like Western nations that our leaders at the time didn't have enough power in politics to negotiate and so on with the Western countries. Of course, there were, uh, you know, I don't like to think about racism much, but I do think that there were some racism, against yellow people back then, and I get that. Like, I'm Japanese, but if I see our ancestors at the time, maybe I will have like cringe kind of expressions on my face. Like, it's like, I get that we come from different places, and we look different and so on. So, but anyway, aside from that, really, it's America, Japan, Australia, India, the UK, and all these powers like this have to unite. And China and Soviet Union at the time, they tried their best to rip us apart, especially Japan and America. There were Chinese spies, like the wife of something Kai-shek. I don't know the pronunciation in English. Yeah, there were some spies in America, like Chinese spies in America that took over the American organizations to release all this propaganda against Japan to bring down the reputation of us, so we couldn't be trusted. And also, Soviet Union spies went into American governing power. And so, yes, we just lost, but we know now. So we gotta be smarter this time. Yep, man. Interesting questions, but I need to go. Yes. Thank you, guys. Man. Okay. I think I'm gonna go now. So, thank you guys always for coming out. And yeah. Man, I wanted to talk about Netflix too, but I guess I can because I stopped playing games for now, and I for the past few weeks I've been watching Netflix instead, and I'm finishing many TV shows. I watched Heroes, and now I'm watching. Oh yeah, I watch Outer Banks too. Like I actually enjoy like teen TV shows because I'm still a child inside, and also I'm currently watching Blacklist. It's fun for now. I don't know how it will go, but yeah, I think I should probably talk about all these TV shows as well. But yeah, you will get that. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me. Mini bar. Thank you. Namaste. I think you. Melissa Yamada. Who the hell is that? Thank you. You guys have a great night. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Other things will be next time. Thank you. Sweet dreams, guys. I will eat something and enjoy the rest of the day. So awful word. Good that you have all this what you call like a beliefs and so on. Yes. Thank you. I'm gonna go now. So if you miss me, follow me on Twitter at Naomi Osaka and let's interact there. Okay, I'm gonna cue the outro and go. Thank you guys. Good night or have a good day. I'll see you around. Bye.